Hi everyone. Last week in class we talked about bad leadership. That wasn't just an introductory exercise, but we can actually learn from bad leaders. This presentation is going to explore some of the research associated with that. There's a growing academic interest in the negative side of leadership, and Shins and Skilling are two researchers who wrote an article in 2013 that outlined two main reasons for that. Two of the reasons that we focus on the negative side of leadership are listed here. Number one, there are serious costs associated with poor leadership in organizations. Number two, the effects of bad leaders on others within organizations are severe. Researchers have defined several types of negative leadership, often using different terminology. The next slides will outline the categories of that negative leadership. Barbara Kellerman wrote a book in 2004 called Bad Leadership: What It Is, How It Happens, and Why It Matters. According to this book, ineffective leadership fails to produce the desired change. For reasons that include missing traits, weak skills, strategies badly conceived, and tactics badly employed, ineffective leadership falls short of its intention. Unethical leadership, on the other hand, fails to distinguish between right and wrong. Other authors have focused on the concept of destructive leadership. According to a comprehensive review of the literature in 2007 by Padilla, Hogan, and Kaiser, there are 5 features of destructive leadership. First, destructive leadership is seldom absolutely or entirely destructive. There are both good and bad results in both leadership situations. Secondly, the process of destructive leadership involves dominance, coercion, and manipulation, rather than influence, persuasion, and commitment. Thirdly, the process of destructive leadership has a selfish orientation. It's focused more on the leader's needs than the needs of a larger social group. And finally, the effects of destructive leadership are outcomes that compromise the quality of life for constituents and detract from the organization's main purposes. Another type of destructive leadership is called narcissistic leadership. An author named Maccabee in 2004 investigated narcissistic leadership, highlighting both strengths and weaknesses. One of the strengths is that narcissistic leaders tend to have great vision and lots of followers. Weaknesses include sensitivity to criticism, being poor listeners, having a lack of empathy, a distaste for mentoring, and an intense desire to compete. Even leaders who don't fall into one of these overarching categories still make mistakes. Some of these are summarized below. These are some examples that you, the class, gave last week in class when you described your bad leaders. Having a lack of clear vision, poor communication, micromanaging, bringing in the wrong people, and failing to lead by example. The 8 steps listed here are advice that Barbara Kellerman, who wrote a book in 2004, gave as advice for leaders who wish to work more effectively with their teams. What we're going to do next is move this to the discussion so that you can apply this advice to specific situations you have worked with in the past.